Hi guys, welcome back. Today I'm making a video about how I read a book, which sounds like a very simple and mundane thing, but there's quite a bit to it, I guess. I'll also show you how I review and annotate and everything basically that is concerned with reading. So you see behind me, I rearranged my room a bit, but you see my big book pile. And what I usually do, every time I finish a book, I just pick something from here. And usually, I'm a big mood reader. I don't really make reading plans or anything like that. I'm kind of just like feeling it, and whatever really resonates with me, I'm gonna pick up. But then I usually don't read it immediately. I have another shelf that I call my immediate TBR that I'm gonna show you now. So right over my Hermann Hesse collection, this is my immediate TBR shelf. And yeah, usually I just see whatever I usually like to have like a longer book on here, a biography, a good mix of stuff, and then whenever I finish something, I just see what's next. For example, a while ago I read a book by Jenny Ertenbeck and really liked it, and so I put another one here. Never read Mieko Kawakami, but I really like Japanese literature, so that's an option. Then the Thomas Mann quadrilogy, I recently acquired the first volume of that this year. Then I just finished Franz Kafka's biography, and this book was mentioned in there many times, so that's on here. And then Roland Barthes, I thought he was German, but apparently he's French. I had a uni lecture where he was mentioned a couple of times, so I put his book on here. And that's just kind of, it's kind of just feeling it. Yeah, well, and so I'm usually reading about 4 books at a time. I realized that is the maximum amount of books that I can concentrate on at the same time. And it's a lot of books to read at the same time, but I'm usually trying to keep it a bit diverse. I'm trying to have at least one non-fiction book and also one like mammoth or like really long book and the short book, just mix it up a little, so that no matter how I'm feeling, I'm always feeling like reading something. Maybe I'm in the mood for something a bit more fast-paced, maybe in the mood for something a little bit more heady and intellectual. Maybe I want to read something light, and reading multiple books with different topics at the same time. It's a good way to to mix it up. So that's kind of my process in picking and everyday reading, I guess. And also I don't really pressure myself. Like I've read books in a day, and I've read books where it took me 6 months or even longer to finish them. So that's if you don't have any like uni papers to write, then I'm a big fan of taking your time. Next up, I'll kind of show you through my reading process. These are 2 books I finished recently. The Franz Kafka biography that I mentioned before, written by his friend Max Brod, and The General in His Labyrinth by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. And you can see I use these sticky tabs to annotate, and I don't really usually structure them very much. I just like to pick colors that kind of suit the book. I used multiple here because I just ran out of the colors that I was using before, but sometimes you can barely see it here, but I got 1 pink tab in here. All these orange tabs in this case are referencing beautiful prose and beautiful writing that I liked. And then there's just one historical fact that I found very interesting. And so to kind of distinguish that, I put that in a different color. But I don't really do that thing where you have like specific topic for each tab. I feel like that's a little bit complicated. Usually if I revisit a book, if I reread a book, or if I just want to see what I found interesting, usually I there's not that many in here, and this one has a ton. But it's, if I'm looking for something specific, for whatever reason, I think I'm still gonna find it in a short amount of time. And yeah, so I'm always, since I made this YouTube channel, I'm always keeping in the back of my head that I'm gonna make a review for this book on this channel. I discovered that reviewing things is quite a skill, and I'm nowhere near perfecting it, but it's sometimes quite challenging to really give like an in-depth review that is really, doing the book justice. And obviously you need to read a lot of stuff to really be able to make a good review, because for example, if you want to review a Gabriel Garcia Marquez book, you kind of need to know a little bit of his biography, kind of what time he lived in, what his influences were, who kind of he surrounded himself with, but also kind of who kind of took inspiration from his works, and kind of facts around that. And so usually it depends on the book. If the book doesn't really interest me, then I don't bother really researching stuff. This book made it easy because it had like a timetable explaining a lot of things in the end. But usually if a book really interests me and I want to do a good job reviewing it, then I'll almost always at least look at the Wikipedia page or look something up about the author, because I think for a lot of books that is essential if you really want to even understand it completely. And also, if a book has very complex topics, which is almost every book, I would say, I always put like a little sticky note in the back, and then I'll always have a pen ready, and I'll just take some notes. And I, sometimes you could probably write a bit more, but I like this format because it's very limited space. It's not a lot of stuff to write. And yeah, it really makes me pick and choose and evaluate what I'm gonna put down on the sticky note to kind of help me when I'm reviewing it. And I usually just put, well, this is a non-fiction book. This one didn't get a sticky note, but most of my books do, and I'll just put different story or plot aspects of the book, different characters that interest me, different facts about the author, just really like all kind of stuff. And also, like, usually in the bottom I'll put like my own thoughts or my own interpretation, and that is gonna kind of guide me through my review, because when I'm reviewing something I'll usually start with with what's imminent to the book, with the plot, with the characters. Then I'll shift into the facts about the author, and then I'll give my own thoughts in the end. So I'm kind of trying to structure it a little bit on this little tiny sticky tab. Yeah, I've been a reader for my whole life, basically. And when I was younger, I didn't really, I only cared about the plot and the reading, but I discovered that this method, or anything that's remotely similar, really helps me to get more out of books. Like, really, I'm feeling like I'm getting some way deeper knowledge and way deeper understanding of the novel, which also helps me to learn about myself and the world. So yeah, I think it's quite nice how these relatively simple small steps can really improve what you get from reading and from literature. So that's it. A little bit of a shorter video today, but I just thought that this might be something that's interesting to a bunch of people and to a bunch of new readers maybe. And yeah, feel free to share your own methods with me. And I'm excited to read your comments, and thank you for watching. Goodbye.